Have you ever wondered what truly happens behind the polished glamour, the thunderous stages, and the picture-perfect smiles of the world's biggest boy band when it comes to something as fragile, unpredictable, and deeply human as love? Tonight, you're about to step into a side of BTS that fans rarely get to hear about. Not scandals, not shallow rumors, but the emotional architecture of how each member actually behaves when they fall, when they stay, when they love. Imagine the world's most famous idols navigating the simplest, most universal emotion that connects all of us. How do they express affection when cameras aren't rolling? Who becomes surprisingly clingy? Who is the quiet, soft-hearted type who gives his whole world to the person he cares about? And who hides a secret romantic streak so powerful that even the closest fans would never guess it? In this journey, we're peeling open 7 different stories, each shaped by personality, childhood memories, past experiences, and the unpredictable ways love changes a person. Some of them love with logic, some love with chaos, some love with gentle, consistent warmth, and others love with a kind of devotion that scares them and captivates the partner at the same time. As we go through each ranking, you'll sense the shift in tone, sometimes playful, sometimes introspective, sometimes heartbreakingly real. Because love isn't a performance, and even global superstars can be vulnerable when the spotlight fades. But here's the twist. The member who takes the #1 spot is someone almost no one expects, someone whose public persona gives no clue to the depth of emotion he hides. His romantic side isn't loud, isn't flashy, and definitely isn't obvious. But when he loves with a kind of loyalty and intensity that could rewrite every fan's assumptions. Why is he so devoted? What shaped this soft, almost secret side of him? Why do those closest to him say he is the one who transforms the most when he's truly in love? And what tiny hints has he accidentally left behind over the years? So buckle up, keep your mind open, and prepare to see BTS not as icons, but as men with real hearts, real stories, and real ways of loving that just might surprise you. This is Top 7 BTS members in the world of romance, and #1 is secretly the most whipped. Now let's start from the bottom of the list, and trust me, even #7 will flip your expectations. Number 7, Taehyung, the silent daydreamer. When it comes to love, Taehyung is a universe of contradictions, quiet yet expressive, detached yet deeply emotional, mysterious yet painfully transparent to the people who truly pay attention. In the world of romance, he stands at #7 not because he lacks passion, but because his way of loving is like poetry written in invisible ink, subtle, beautiful, and often misunderstood. Taehyung's romantic style is rooted in the fragments of his childhood, the loneliness he once mentioned, and the warmth he always searched for in human connection. He is the type of person who can fall in love simply by observing someone's small habits, how they smile when they're embarrassed, how they hold a cup with 2 hands, or how their eyes soften when they talk about something they care about. Taehyung notices everything, but says only a fraction of what he feels, which makes his affection feel like a slow-burning candle instead of a bonfire. He's the type who expresses love indirectly, through art, through late-night messages, through carefully curated playlists filled with songs he hopes the other person will listen to when they miss him. And yes, he would absolutely send snippets of old jazz music, because in his world, love isn't loud, it's timeless. But why is he at the bottom of the ranking? Because Taehyung struggles with consistency when it comes to love. His heart is immense, but his mind wanders. One moment he's fully present, offering soft gazes and quiet warmth. The next moment, he disappears into his own world of imagination, photography, and creative solitude. It's not emotional detachment. It's the way he recharges, the way he protects himself from vulnerability. And it often makes his partner wonder, is he drifting away, or is he just being Taehyung? Another part of his romantic journey lies in fear. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of being judged, fear of giving too much and losing control of his emotions. He said before that he wants a love that feels like friendship, comfort, and safety. Not dramatic, not chaotic, just simple and sincere. But his life is anything but simple. Being globally recognized, adored, analyzed, and constantly watched makes it difficult for him to fully open up. So Taehyung expresses affection through gestures rather than words. He's the type who will quietly put a blanket over someone who fell asleep on the couch, or send a random photo of a sunset because it reminded him of them. He loves with softness, not intensity, with quiet devotion, not fireworks. And yet, when he's truly in love, he becomes surprisingly clingy in private, seeking warmth, hugs, shared silences, and moments where he can rest his head on someone's shoulder without saying a single word. Taehyung's romance is not the dramatic K-drama type. It's the kind that feels like walking through an empty museum at night or sitting under a street lamp while snow falls quietly around you. Beautiful, serene, intimate, but occasionally lonely. And that's why he begins our list. Because while he loves beautifully, even poetically, he still protects too much of himself. His love is real, honest, and full of unspoken depth. But he remains a dreamer who hasn't yet allowed himself to fall without holding on to something in case he needs to land safely. When Taehyung finally finds someone who feels like home, his ranking will rise naturally. But for now, he stays at number 7, the gentle, dreamy lover who feels love deeply but shows it quietly. Number 6, Jimin, the tender but turbulent romantic. Jimin is the kind of person who carries love like a secret flame behind his ribs, warm, glowing, and powerful enough to change the mood of an entire room. But that same flame can flicker, flare, or dim without warning, because for Jimin, love is both an act of devotion and an emotional battlefield. Landing at number 6 doesn't mean Jimin loves any less intensely than the others. If anything, he loves too much, too quickly, too deeply. But his journey through romance is shaped by one thing: emotion, pure and unfiltered. Jimin's love begins with attention. He notices everything: your tone, your breathing, the smallest shift of your eyes. And once he decides he cares, you become his priority in ways that can feel overwhelming but breathtakingly sincere. He's the type who will stay up all night thinking about something you said hours ago, replaying it like a song he can't stop listening to. He gives reassurance constantly, not because he doubts you, but because he doubts himself. Years of feeling like he had to prove his worth, both as a trainee and as a public figure, built a heart that wants to give endlessly but struggles to believe it deserves the same in return. And that's where Jimin's turbulence begins. In relationships, he can be soft as a whisper one moment and stormy with emotion the next. Not angry, never angry, just overwhelmed by how deeply he feels everything. When he loves with a sincerity that could melt steel. He remembers your favorite snacks, your smallest insecurities, the exact way you like your hands warmed in winter. He'd surprise you with late-night calls just to check on you, or send random messages like, "I hope you ate well," because care for him is an everyday ritual. But his biggest challenge? Overthinking. Jimin lives inside his own mind more than he lets on. When he falls for someone, he analyzes every gesture, every silence, every delay in response. And sometimes he convinces himself that he's not enough, not handsome enough, not stable enough, not deserving enough. This makes him cling for reassurance in subtle ways, trying not to show it but unable to hide it completely. However, Jimin is also a sensual romantic. His love language is touch, warm hugs, soft hand-holding, leaning on your shoulder, resting his head on your lap, or quietly asking for cuddles when he's tired. He's the type who finds comfort in shared stillness, in being physically close, in knowing that the person he loves is right there, breathing beside him. Behind the scenes, members often talk about how Jimin gives comfort selflessly. That's how he loves too, by soothing, by healing, by being a space of warmth for someone who needs it. But ironically, he rarely asks for the same comfort in return. And when he does, it means he's truly, deeply in love. So why is he number 6? Because Jimin's love, while beautiful, is fragile. He gives so much of himself that he risks losing balance. His emotions rise and fall like tides, and he needs someone who can ground him without dimming his gentle, affectionate nature. When he finds that person, Jimin becomes a partner who loves with unwavering loyalty, heart-melting sweetness, and emotional honesty many can only dream of. But for now, he stays at number 6, the tender romantic with an ocean inside him, beautiful but unpredictable, overflowing with love he's still learning how to manage. Number 5, Jungkook, the intense but quietly devoted lover. Jungkook's place at number 5 might surprise some people, because on stage he's bold, confident, and unstoppable, but in love, he becomes a completely different version of himself. He's the kind of romantic who feels everything intensely, but reveals almost nothing at first glance. His affection doesn't arrive like a dramatic confession. It comes slowly, quietly, through actions so subtle, yet so deliberate that only someone who truly pays attention will understand how deeply he cares. What makes Jungkook fascinating in the world of romance is his duality. He has a fiercely independent personality shaped by joining BTS at such a young age, growing up around older members, learning to protect his vulnerabilities, learning not to show weakness. But beneath that tough exterior is a heart that loves with laser-focused devotion. When Jungkook falls, he doesn't fall halfway. He falls entirely, wholeheartedly, with a loyalty that feels almost overwhelming. Yet he hides it so well behind playful teasing, awkward shyness, and that signature "I'm fine" persona that fans often misinterpret as emotional distance. In reality, Jungkook is one of the most quietly affectionate romantics in BTS. His love language? Acts of service, effort, and consistency. He's the type who won't say, "I miss you" often, but he'll show up even when he's busy, bring food without asking, fix something in your house without being told, or send a late-night message checking if you got home safely. For Jungkook, love isn't something he performs. It's something he proves through dependable presence. The reason he's not higher? Jungkook still carries a bit of emotional defensiveness. Growing up in the spotlight, judged for everything from his hairstyle to his relationships, taught him to build walls, not to keep people out, but to protect the softer version of himself he rarely shows. He's not someone who opens up easily. He hesitates, observes, analyzes. He needs time to trust. And when he finally lets someone in, it's a big deal. That person becomes someone he listens to, someone he seeks comfort from, someone he wants to impress and take care of. Privately, Jungkook becomes surprisingly clingy. He craves physical closeness even if he pretends he doesn't. He loves quiet nights in, watching movies with his head on someone's shoulder, or hugging them from behind while humming under his breath. His playfulness becomes more tender, his jokes softer, his energy calmer. And if he really loves you, he'll show you his fears, his worries about the future, his insecurity about not being enough, the pressure he feels to always perform perfectly. Because Jungkook doesn't open up emotionally unless he feels safe. And once he feels safe, he becomes the kind of boyfriend who remembers small details, supports your dreams fiercely, and protects you not with dominance, but with gentle consistency. Another thing that pushes him to number 5 is his perfectionism. Jungkook demands a lot from himself, and sometimes he unintentionally pushes that pressure into his relationships. He wants to be the best partner, the strongest support, the most reliable presence, and when he feels like he falls short, he becomes distant and self-reflective. Not because he's losing interest, but because he's overthinking everything. But let's be clear, Jungkook's love is powerful. When he loves you, he chooses you deliberately and fully. He's not confused, not half-hearted. He's all in. His romance is steady, mature, passionate, and grounded in the belief that love is something you build every day, not something you just declare once. That's why he's at number 5, a deeply devoted lover who expresses affection not with grand words, but with reliable actions, quiet passion, and a heart that stays loyal long after everyone else would have given up. Number 4, Jhope, the sunshine who loves with his whole soul. If there is one member whose romantic energy feels like stepping into a room filled with warm light, it's Jhope. But don't let his endless smiles and bright laughter fool you. Behind that sunshine exterior lies a man who loves with incredible depth, emotional intelligence, and a surprising level of vulnerability that only comes out when he truly trusts someone. That's why he sits at number 4. Because his love is both uplifting and grounding, sweet yet steady, playful yet profoundly sincere. Hobi's romantic style begins with one core truth. He wants his partner to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. Growing up, he learned how to support others, how to lift people's spirits, how to keep the mood bright even when things were difficult. And while that makes him an amazing friend, it makes him an even more remarkable lover. In a relationship, Jhope becomes the consistent pillar you didn't know you needed. He's the type who texts good morning before the sun rises, checks whether you ate, remembers the things you say in passing, and notices when your voice changes, even slightly. His care is intuitive, almost instinctive. But here's the part many people don't realize. Jhope's brightness is not an act. It's a choice, a love language, a promise he makes silently to the people he cherishes. I want to be your comfort. Yet beneath that warmth, he has a sensitive heart. One that feels deeply, fears deeply, hopes deeply. And when he's in love, all of these emotions intensify. Jhope is incredibly thoughtful. He plans surprises not to impress, but to make memories. He writes handwritten notes with metaphors only he could think of. He buys small gifts that reflect something meaningful you once said weeks ago. He's the type who would show up at your door after a long day holding your favorite drink, not for grand romantic impact, but because he genuinely wants to lighten your burden. But his biggest strength, and also his hidden weakness, is how much he gives. Hobi is a giver by nature. He pours his energy, attention, and affection into the person he loves until they feel wrapped in comfort. But sometimes he gives too much, to the point that he forgets to ask for emotional support in return. He hides his worries behind a smile, and only when he's deeply in love does he allow someone to see the cracks, the nights he feels insecure, the moments he doubts himself, the quiet fears that grow in the shadows of fame. When he trusts you enough to show those vulnerable parts, that's when you'll realize how rare and precious his love really is. In private, Jhope is affectionate and clingier than people expect. He loves cuddles, warmth, closeness. He's the type who rests his head on your lap while talking about his day, or lies beside you humming softly while tracing patterns on your hand. He loves feeling connected, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And in those private moments, the sunshine becomes something softer, a glow instead of a blaze, a quiet devotion instead of bright excitement. Why is he number 4? Because his love, while beautiful, is sometimes too self-sacrificing. He prioritizes others to the point that he forgets his own emotional needs. He wants to protect, to uplift, to encourage, but he sometimes struggles to let someone else support him with the same intensity. Still, when Jhope loves, he loves with a sincerity that is impossible to imitate. His romance is warm, hopeful, steady, and healing. With him, love doesn't feel like a storm or a roller coaster. It feels like waking up on a peaceful morning with sunlight on your face, comforting, safe, and full of promise. And that's why he stands proudly at number 4, the sunshine lover who brightens the world of anyone lucky enough to hold his heart. Number 3, Jin, the gentle protector with a heart of gold. Jin's romantic energy is unlike anyone else's in BTS. It's comforting, steady, warm, and deeply rooted in a maturity that comes from being the eldest, but also from living a life full of responsibility, sacrifice, and silent endurance. When Jin loves, he becomes the kind of partner who brings both emotional stability and quiet joy, someone who doesn't need dramatic gestures to prove anything, because his presence alone already feels like a home you didn't realize you were missing. That's what places him solidly at number 3. He's a lover who gives both softness and strength in a perfect, balanced blend. From the outside, Jin looks playful, loud, teasing, forever joking around. But in private, his love runs much deeper than people assume. He has a nurturing instinct, the kind that remembers your favorite foods, cooks for you when you're stressed, and gives thoughtful advice without ever making you feel judged. Growing up with a strong sense of family duty shaped him into someone who naturally wants to take care of the people he loves. And when he's in a relationship, that instinct becomes even more pronounced. Jin expresses love through consistency. He's not a grand public display of affection type. Instead, he shows affection through the smallest, most meaningful moments. He'd fix your hair while you're not noticing. He'd quietly place a jacket around your shoulders the second the temperature drops. He'd open the door, carry the heavier bags, or offer his shoulder when he thinks you need it, even if you don't ask. He's the type who will say, "I'm here," and mean it completely. But beneath that calm, older brother exterior lies something unexpected. Jin is actually incredibly sentimental. He remembers anniversaries, inside jokes, dates, even the first time you said something that made him smile. He hides personal meaning in the smallest things, like saving certain photos, keeping tiny mementos, or playing a specific song because it reminds him of the moment he first realized he had feelings for you. Yet, his biggest strength is also what makes him land at number 3 instead of higher. Jin often suppresses his deeper emotions to protect the people around him. Being the oldest taught him to be okay, even when he isn't. In love, this means he sometimes hides his stress, his fears, or his sadness just to avoid worrying his partner. He wants to be seen as dependable, as strong, as someone you can always rely on. So he keeps some of his softness tucked away. But when he truly trusts someone, a different Jin appears. Private Jin is clingy, affectionate, and low-key needy in the cutest way. He loves back hugs, long conversations before bed, and moments where he can drop the worldwide handsome confidence and just be Seekjin, the man who wants reassurance, comfort, and shared warmth. He becomes more expressive, more honest, more emotionally transparent. He'll lean his head on your shoulder, hold your hand under the table, and whisper things meant only for you. Another remarkable part of Jin's romantic style is his loyalty. He doesn't fall in love easily, but when he does, it's with intention and long-term commitment. He's not interested in games or temporary thrills. Jin wants stability, partnership, warmth, and mutual growth. He wants someone he can laugh with, cook for, travel with, and come home to. And he gives all of that back in return, multiplied by 10. Why number 3? Because Jin's love is almost perfect, balanced, nurturing, stable. But his tendency to hide his own struggles keeps him from entering the ultimate Busin territory. He loves beautifully, deeply, and maturely, but he also loves with restraint, always making sure he doesn't burden the person he cares about. That said, the one who captures Jin's heart will find themselves loved with a kind of sincerity that doesn't fade, the kind of commitment that feels like a lifelong promise. He's number 3 because his love isn't loud, but it's one of the purest forms of devotion you'll ever experience. Number 2, Suga, the unexpected soft-hearted loyalist. Suga might be the last person many fans expect to rank this high in the world of romance, but that's exactly why he deserves the number 2 spot. Behind the stoic expression, the dry humor, and the famously calm demeanor lies a man with one of the deepest, most steadfast hearts in BTS. His love isn't loud or showy. It's quiet, unwavering, and fiercely loyal. And that's exactly what makes it so powerful. When Yoongi loves, he loves with intention. He's not the type to fall quickly, nor is he easily impressed. It takes time for him to open up, time for him to trust, time for him to let someone cross the boundary into the private world he guards so carefully. But once you're in, once he chooses you, his loyalty becomes unshakable. Suga is the definition of a partner who stays, not because he has to, but because he genuinely wants to. His romantic style is rooted in authenticity. He doesn't do sweet talk unless he means every word. He doesn't promise things he can't deliver. He doesn't create drama or play emotional games. Instead, he gives you the realest version of himself. The soft-spoken thinker, the quiet observer, the introverted lover who listens more than he speaks. But in that silence lies everything: comfort, security, devotion. Suga's idea of love is partnership. He wants someone who grows with him, someone who challenges him gently, someone who understands that intimacy isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's two people sitting in the same room doing different things, but still feeling completely connected. With him, love isn't chaos, it's peace. And that peace is something he protects fiercely. What many people don't realize is that Yoongi is incredibly sentimental. He remembers every important detail, the stories you tell him, the dreams you whisper late at night, the worries you try to hide behind a smile. He notices when your voice shakes. He notices when you're quieter than usual. He notices when you're pretending to be okay. And he won't call you out. Instead, he'll quietly find a way to comfort you. Maybe he'll make you tea without saying anything. Maybe he'll play a song on the piano and let the melody say the words he struggles to express. Maybe he'll simply sit next to you until you're ready to talk. His love language is quiet acts of devotion, the kind that build trust over time. In private, Suga is shockingly affectionate. He's not clingy in a loud, dramatic way, but he's deeply clingy in the subtle gestures, resting his head on your shoulder while working, hugging you from behind when he's tired, falling asleep on your lap after a long day. He finds comfort in physical closeness, but he shows it only with the person he trusts fully. And once he reaches that point, he becomes incredibly soft, almost kitten-like, in a way only his partner gets to see. So, why isn't he number one? Because Suga loves deeply, but he doesn't lose himself in love. He maintains balance. He keeps his individuality. He loves strongly without becoming overly possessive or emotionally dependent. His devotion is intense, but it's controlled. His affection is real, but it's grounded. His loyalty is absolute, but it doesn't consume him. However, make no mistake, if you become the person he chooses, he will stand by you through everything: success, failure, joy, heartbreak, change, growth. His love is the kind you build a life on. Suga stands proudly at number 2, not because he loves less, but because he loves with a powerful calmness, an unshakable loyalty, and a sincerity that leaves the deepest mark. Number 1, RM, secretly the most whipped, heartful leader. And now we arrive at the top of the list, the one no one expected, the man whose romantic depth stays hidden beneath layers of intellect, leadership, discipline, and calm composure. RM, or Kim Namjoon, takes the number 1 spot not because he loves loudly, but because he loves with a level of devotion, vulnerability, emotional intelligence, and soul-deep sincerity that makes him, quietly and undeniably, the most Busan member of BTS. Namjoon is the type of lover who feels everything, absolutely everything, with a depth he rarely shows to the world. He overthinks, he analyzes, he reflects, and he internalizes emotions in ways that make his love feel both poetic and consuming. To him, romance isn't just a relationship. It's a landscape of shared growth, inner healing, quiet companionship, and lifelong curiosity about the person he loves. And when he falls with a loyalty and softness that could turn even the coldest heart warm. Let's start with the truth. RM is a hopeless romantic, but in the most intellectual and mature way. He reads about love. He writes about love. He observes love in art, in architecture, in nature, in the stories of strangers he passes on the street. He believes love is a form of philosophy, something you practice, honor, and understand over time. This alone already sets him apart. But the real reason he ranks number 1 is how dramatically he changes when he's in love. Namjoon becomes soft. No, beyond soft. He becomes shy, warm, attentive, constantly thoughtful. He becomes the kind of man who listens carefully to your dreams, asks deep questions about your past, and remembers details you shared only once. His love language is emotional presence. He wants to talk for hours about fears, hopes, ideas, memories, the universe, and everything in between. And in those conversations, he lets his guard down more than anyone else in the group. He shows the vulnerable parts, the insecure parts, the parts shaped by years of pressure, criticism, and expectation. With the person he loves, he doesn't have to be BTS's leader. He can just be Kim Namjoon, a man with a huge heart, a philosophical mind, and a soul that craves connection. But here's where the Busan part truly appears. Namjoon is incredibly devoted. He rearranges his schedule to make time. He sends good morning paragraphs while traveling. He buys meaningful gifts, not expensive things, but items that carry symbolism. Rare books, antique trinkets, handwritten letters, flowers pressed between pages. He takes photos of everything because he wants to remember the world the way he sees it with you beside him. And when he's truly in love, he becomes almost embarrassingly whipped in the sweetest way. He checks his phone more often. He waits for messages. He gets nervous before dates. He replays your conversations in his mind while lying in bed. He softens at the sound of your voice. He tries harder, cares harder, loves harder, because to him, love is not something to take lightly. One of the most surprising things about RM is his deep desire to protect. Not in a controlling way, but in a grounding, dependable, soothing way. He wants to be your emotional anchor, your voice of reason, your safe place in the world. And in return, he asks for honesty and presence. He doesn't need grand gestures, just someone who understands him, someone who stays, someone who chooses him even when he doubts himself. But here's the real twist. RM is actually the most jealous and vulnerable member when it comes to love, even if he hides it well. He feels things deeply. He worries quietly. He treasures you intensely. He cares so much that it scares him sometimes. And that's exactly why he ranks number one. Because love transforms him. It makes him gentler, softer, braver, more poetic, more expressive. It turns him into someone who would cross cities just to be there for you. Someone who would write entire pieces of prose about a single moment you shared. Someone who believes wholeheartedly in building a future with you. Namjoon loves with soul, with intention, with wisdom, and with a devotion that goes beyond ordinary romance. He is the quietest Busan, the most thoughtful partner, the kind of man whose love becomes a sanctuary. That is why RM stands at number one. The lover who gives everything without ever needing to shout it. The heartful leader who loves with the deepest, most beautiful sincerity of all.